inviting me to this platform by Ministry of Ayush, and I have been given this topic of importance of sleep and biological rhythm. Let's see how much justice I can do. See, first of all, when sleep become important, if you consider 30 years before, we are not talking much about sleep and sleep disorder. There are three important things. First, the experiment by Rashafen in 80s, where we deprived the rats and could show that after 3 weeks of deprivation, the rats were dying. Then, secondly, we have a lot of documentation during last 25 years regarding the adverse consequences of sleep deprivation, maybe short term or total or perceived, on human learning, mood, behavior. Then, thirdly, there are two publications which were showing that those who are sleeping around 7.2 hours, they were living longer, more than 85 years of age. So, with this message, I just want to say what are the consequences of acute sleep deprivation. It reduces attention, vigilance, altering mood states, diminished memory processing, alteration in executive function, impaired perception, vision disturbances, slower reactions, and deficiency intensifies muscle tone, speech becomes monotonous and unclear, sensitivity to pain is higher, and last of all, diminish immune response, which is very important during this COVID-19 time. If you see this picture, the major disasters were because of sleep deprivation in the past. Now I'll introduce to this crowd few questions. What is sleep? Everybody will think that they know the answer. What happens during sleep? We know to some extent. What happens we do not sleep? I have already described, and we know very well. And what are the mechanism of sleep? This is also well investigated, and we know a lot about this. But the last question is, why do we sleep? It is still a mystery. We do not know why do we sleep. Let me see what is sleep. There are many definitions, but this one definition is given by Siegel, a famous contemporary sleep scientist. Sleep is a reversible behavioral state with reduced responsiveness to external stimuli using associated with mobility. The characteristic decreased ability to react to stimuli distinguishes it from quiet wakefulness, while reversibility distinguishes sleep from coma. This definition is given because sometimes people they compare sleep as a comatose stage, which is not true. This slide gives you some picture regarding who is sleeping how much, the bat sleep maximum, the giraffe minimum, and we men adult people sleep around 7 to 8 hours. This is a recommendation by National Sleep Foundation for sleep duration for different age group because it varies from infancy to old age. One can follow this chart. If you want to study sleep, you have to record objectively three parameters, that is EEG, EMG, and EOG. With this, you can classify sleep into different stages. We can divide our conscious state into wake and sleep. If you see in Upanishad, there was a description of two types of sleep long time back, that is quiet sleep and dream sleep. Unfortunately, the credit doesn't go to Upanishad or to India. It goes to Klitman and Zelensky, who discovered REM sleep in 1953. So accordingly, we divide conscious into two states, wake and sleep is further divided into non-REM and REM sleep. We should understand what is a sleep cycle. Non-REM and REM sleep alternate cyclically throughout the night, beginning with non-REM sleep, 90-minute cycle, out of which non-REM is 80 minutes and REM 10 minutes. And every night we go through 3 to 6 cycles. As night progresses, the REM amount increases. So sleep is not an uniform state, it varies from one phase to another. Here you can see the electrophysiological EEG features of non-REM sleep. which is divided into, earlier it was divided into 4 stages. Now we have a new classification. It is divided into 3 stages, N1, N2, and N3. And you can see during N3, the EEG waves are having high amplitude. We call this slow waves, frequency less. This is delta sleep. This is the deepest sleep stage, and it's very difficult to wake you up from this stage. And on the right side, you can see the sleep cycle. We entered from awake to N1, N2, N3, then go to REM. So this goes on, and towards the last part of the night, the REM amount increases. We do not divide REM sleep like non-REM sleep, but REM sleep has different features. EEG desynchronization is just like wake state. There are rapid eye movements, pontogenic low occipital waves, penile erection, muscle atonia, and hippocampal theta. Also, we have dream. Although we dream during non-REM, we do not recall, but during REM, if we dream, we have a recall about the dream content. This table will give you briefly about the physiology and sleep. We have the brain activity during non-REM decreases, during REM it increases, and phagic REM further increases. So also cerebral blood flow, heart rate slows down during non-REM, about same in tonic, but during phagic it increases, blood pressure increases during phagic REM, respiration also increases during phagic REM and tonic REM. Airway resistance increases during all phases of sleep, but it is maximum during phagic REM. And there is penile erection during REM sleep. Sensory and motor processing, we have reduced muscle tone, profound loss of muscle during REM sleep, except respiratory, eye, ear muscle, loss of reflexes, then reduced sensory perception, reduced responsiveness to respiratory stimuli, and appearance of spindles are sign of sensory block, which you find in the EEG parameters. During non-REM sleep, temperature is regulated low level. During REM sleep, temperature regulation is suspended. Brain temperature is higher during REM than non-REM sleep. And before sleep onset, if you see your periphery, the legs, the skin temperature increases due to increased heat dissipation and leading to decrease in body temperature. GI function, swallowing rate decreases, everything decreases in GI function except there is increase in gastric acid secretion, which is highest during midnight. And if you involuntary loss of rectal content is prevented by retrograde and rectal propagation. Growth hormone secretion is maximum during delta sleep. Prolactin secretion increases during sleep. Gonadotropin release is maximum during sleep in puberty. So thyroid stimulating hormone increase at the beginning of sleep. Then regarding functions of sleep, it is proposed that sleep has a universal physiological function across all species, but there is no consensus what function it might serve. The primary function of the sleep is yet to be discovered. We have some hypotheses regarding functions of sleep: restoration and recovery, energy conservation. We agree with energy conservation to some extent. This washes out our emotions. That's very true. There is synaptic downscaling. This is new function described. Discharge of emotions through dreaming. Memory consolidation, brain growth and repair during infancy and childhood, and it boosts immune function. So at the end, I can say sleep is important for health and survival. During last century, the mechanism of sleep have been investigated by various techniques. The Bremer transsection studies, then the postmortem studies by von Economo from the encephalitis lethargica patients. Then the famous study by Morogi and Megon regarding ascending reticular activating system. Then this is a composite picture about the mechanism of sleep which was proposed, where we have the role of thalamus, reticular nuclei, cortex, and hypothalamus, basal forebrain. The reduction in the sensory input from reticular activating system, activation of brainstem areas and hypothalamic areas, they all together act to produce the active state of sleep. Earlier it was thought to be passive. Recently we have newer techniques. With that, they have again reinvestigating the neural substrate of sleep, which were established, what I described during last century. So now we have the most important is preoptic area, and within preoptic area, ventrolateral preoptic area, which is important for slow wave sleep generation. It inhibits the posterior hypothalamic histaminergic area, which promotes wakefulness, and further there is inhibition of the brainstem wave promoting areas. REM sleep have different mechanism. The pons is the REM generator. You can see the red mark at the center, the lateral dorsal tegmentum and SLD, these are the RAM and RAM features generating areas. The arrows, red arrows are going upward and downward. The downward arrows to the spinal motor neurons. It inhibits the skeletal muscle tone during RAM sleep, which was just described by Dr. Yadav regarding the RAM sleep behavioral disorder. And the upward one, it is desynchronizing the EEG waves and also activating other areas. In summary, sleep is not an unitary state but involves cyclic alteration between non-REM and REM. Sleep is regulated physiological state with clear implication for cognition, performance, and overall well-being. The neural substrate of sleep and wakefulness appear to be highly distributed and to some extent redundant system distributed throughout the brain. The monoaminergic, cholinergic, orexinergic system largely promote wakefulness. The GABAergic system in the preoptic area and brainstem promoting sleep. Melanin concentrating hormone cells of the lateral hypothalamus are recent addition. The PON is critical for generating the multiple component EEG desynchronization, eye movement, muscle atonia that characterizes REM sleep. The profits of sleep: increased energy, sharper concentration, better decision making, better memory, better stress management, better physical health, and better immune system. Now I'll talk about briefly the circadian rhythm. You'll be surprised to know, it is 350 million years old and it is present everywhere, ubiquitous. You can see the green algae, the horseshoe stone crab, the mimosa pudica leaves, the sunflower, they all exhibit circadian behavior. Why suddenly circadian rhythm is important in our society? We have disruption and misalignment of the circadian rhythm because of invention of electricity and use of these gadgets, blue lights in our iPhone, iPads, and computers, and also the air travel and peer pressures. You are encroaching upon wake is encroaching upon the sleep time. And recently there was Nobel Prize in 2017, Howard Rosberg and Young, discovering the clock mechanism, molecular clock mechanism. Circadian rhythm in man, a self-sustained oscillator with an inherent frequency underlies human 24-hour period described by Aesop in 1965 only. Few examples of circadian rhythms in our body: core body temperature, sleep-wake cycle, melatonin secretion, cortisol and growth hormone secretion, feeding and metabolism, athletic ability, immune response, glucose metabolism, and insulin resistance. The core body temperature during night, it is lower. Sleep-wake cycles, we have two types of sleep: homeostatic and circadian sleep. We coincide the both, and during night time, it is complementing to each other. And if you sleep at night, your sleep is complemented and deeper. Then we have melatonin secretion. Now, the circadian rhythms, a 24-hour rhythm, is tuned to the movement of the earth around the sun, which is about 24 hours, whereas our biological rhythm is around 25 hours. So it has to be entrained to be 24 hours. We have an entrained mechanism. In the upper one, you can see 12-hour light and 12-hour dark. In such situation, we are all entrained. And if you live in constant darkness or constant light, then you have a free rhythm, and it will drip by 6 minutes every day. So our internal clock is entrained by the sunlight. Here, two examples of phase advancement and phase delay. This is an example, phase advance, sleep early and wake early, the early bird lark tribe. The old people, they sleep early and wake up early. And the other is the phase delay, sleep late and wake late. Our children are sleeping late and waking late, owl type. So these are all behavior, circadian behavior we are following. The suprachiasmatic nucleus in the hypothalamus is the biological clock. I don't want to go into details of this nucleus, but it is established by a number of techniques that it is the biological clock. The entrained mechanism, this picture gives regarding the entrained mechanism. I don't want to go into detail, but subsequently you'll understand that you need the light, suprachiasmatic nucleus, and the entrainment. This is executed by the clock genes. We have the activators and repressors, the clock and BMAL genes, and the proteins period and cry. So what is happening in the nucleus? The BMAL and clock gene, they produce this translation of period and cry proteins, and these proteins, they come out from the cell, and the degradation of these proteins further give a feedback to the protein synthesizing mechanism to clock and BMAL gene, which are inhibited. This process is exactly 12 hours and 12 hours. In this way, the suprachiasmatic nucleus is giving signal regarding the timing. The output is perfect. If you know about the cock crows in the morning, it is about the same time. So it's a perfect timer. And the circadian timing system, light is entrained, comes through our eye to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and the suprachiasmatic nucleus has multiple connection to different regulating areas, sleep-wake behavior regulating areas, feeding behavior, autonomic nervous system, cortisol and melatonin, and body temperature. And through this, also they have influence on the peripheral clocks in gut, muscles, liver, white adipose tissue, brown adipose tissue, and pancreas. Almost every tissue in mammals has the capacity for generating circadian oscillation. And these peripheral clocks have specific control. The major peripheral clocks are in the liver, kidney, and pancreas and heart. The circadian clocks regulate glucose metabolism, insulin sensitivity, insulin secretion, muscle, meal time and exercise time, disruption and misalignment within the circadian system causes chronobiological strain. So the message is fostering jet hygiene is the entrainer, and the practice of healthy use of jet circadian time cues could reduce the chronobiological strain, disruption or misalignment within the circadian system that is associated with modern 24-hour lifestyle and several negative health outcomes. So our lifestyle has become, so indisciplined that it is disturbing the circadian timing. So I want to conclude with this that sleep is as important as nutrition and exercise for good health. And we all have experienced during this COVID pandemic that confined at home, we are not sleeping at particular time, not sleeping well. So another message is you must sleep adequately and also sleep on time. Thank you.